Hey everyone, and welcome back to another 7.3 guide. Today we're going to be going over a whole bunch of handy nuggets of information that I found on my time testing Argus on the PTR, plus some relevant undocumented changes that went live but aren't really in the patch notes. Generally, this is just handy, quality of life stuff that should make things a bit smoother when you're playing the patch. Let's kick it off with the FAL Hand of Argos. This is just brilliant. Not only does it have a really handy heal, it also will resurrect you upon death. An amazing time saver, especially if you're not a shaman, and yeah, it's basically an ank for everyone. Getting this is not that hard, but the breadcrumb quest is something that you can miss, so just hit up the map location shown on the screen. That will get you onto the quest chain, follow that chain through, and you will find yourself with this fantastically useful item. Next, I want to talk about the Warframe. Very light spoilers here in that this content comes out next week, but when you unlock it, I recommend taking the Vindicar Warframe weapon for characters who don't have a massive amount of gear. I found on the PTR that the Warframe was powerful enough to allow me to easily solo rare mobs every 10 minutes, which is its cooldown. Seriously though, the thing really packs a punch. World Quest Group Finder will make the rare elite quests trivial, but if you just want to farm rares when you see them for the Argonite, this is ideal. I wouldn't be surprised if the damage for it gets nerfed eventually, but yeah, that's one, I think, pretty handy tip. Another thing is that people noticed Titan Forging seems to have been buffed with the Mythic Plus chests. And yeah, that's no mistake, Blizzard have indeed buffed the Titan Forging cap, so prepare to get 955 bits of gear. So that's been pretty cool, and let's just talk about more undocumented changes. Warmage Kathleen now sells follower XP items for nether shards, as well as 880 item level boost stuff for your followers, that's BOA. Really fantastic for getting your squad up to speed, which is really handy for the new 7.3 rewards, or even just doing gold from the Order Hall quests. Next, Nightfallen Rep is no longer a requirement for a whole bunch of the rep-gated Suramar quests, and also the Broken Shore questline stuff seems to have had their requirements reduced, making it a bit easier to farm that out for your class mount on your alts. Also, Wraithwalk and Levitate allow you to jump, which is great because having your Wraithwalk be foiled by a feckin' pebble was really unsatisfying. And this is a bit of a side thing, but you might be happy to know that the dev team are monitoring Legion Fall hand-ins to basically make it so that you will still be able to get the various different buildings quite regularly. Another thing I want to bring up is World Quest Group Finder. Now, this won't be news to 90% of the people here, but it was broken a while back, which led to a bunch of people uninstalling. And it was fixed within a week, but I never mentioned it in a video, I don't think, so in case you haven't heard, yeah, there's that. Also, the Goblin Gliders. Now, this is a no-flying patch, as you may have noticed, but you can glide. Now, when I was doing my PTR testing, it was on a Demon Hunter. I could already glide, it was fine, but I really missed it on my other characters, especially with the Antoran Wastes. So, I would recommend picking up a few stacks of gliders if you can. Next, let's talk about the Cool Flute. So, Blizzard were kind enough to actually add an equivalent item to the Flightmaster's Whistle. The Cool Flute will take you to the nearest Vindicar transport beacon, and getting it will involve a decent bit of effort. You will need to get to Revered Reputation with the Argusian Reach faction. Basically just do the world quests, champion missions, and all the side quests on Argus. We also have the Boon of the Steadfast. Do you want free Veiled Argonite? I imagine you do. This is going to do that for you. It's a shoulder enchant that will periodically drop items which themselves will contain about like 30 to 40 Veiled Argonite. These generally seem to cap out at 5 drops an hour just for the shoulder enchants overall, but I think most people will be getting like 2 or 3 an hour, and this really would add up over a week of gameplay. Now, of course, the downside here is, yeah, you would have to replace whatever enchant you're currently using on your shoulder, so it mightn't be of interest to everyone, but yeah, certainly I think it's pretty awesome. You will need to get Revered Rep with the Argusian Reach, though, which is something you'll probably want to do anyway for the Cool Flute. Okay, so we just had 2 great things from the Argusian Reach faction, so let's show the Army of Light some love. We've got the Boon of the Lightbearer. This will cause enemies to periodically drop items which contain Primal Sargarite. Now, Primal Sargarite is a vital crafting resource for this patch, especially for things like, say, creating Primal Obliterum, which is used to upgrade the new 7.3 crafts from 885 to 935. Then also we've got the Lightforged Augment Rune. This is basically just a reusable augment rune. You will need Exalted Reputation, so getting it will take quite a few weeks, but, I mean, yeah, a reusable augment rune, who doesn't want that? That's just so handy. So the next main tip here is the missions, champion missions. Do not slack on them, they really are worth doing. There's new champion gear that you can get through doing the side quests, and also new troop types that you can get through doing the side quests. So really do those side quests. Now, probably the first reason you'll really want to get these is because some of the missions will drop reputation tokens for the new patch 7.3 factions, which will mean that, that'll be vital in the getting the aforementioned really handy rep items quite quickly. And also, it will be really good to have a group of really well, geared, good quality followers when patch 7.3.5 releases, because it will bring the new raid quests for Antorus. You'll want a good team to do those so that you can get raid quality loot. I'm also going to be doing lots of these in all of my ults to get them caught up so that I can investigate passive gold making. Next, artifact knowledge. So AK is global now, and it ticks up with each weekly reset, which means that if you see some world quests or follower missions that will still be active after the reset, I would recommend just waiting a few hours and doing them after the reset has happened so that you're benefiting from the AK increment. Those increments are actually quite large in this patch, so personally I do think it's worth doing. Another thing that technically is undocumented that you might not know about is there's a whole bunch of new hunter tames and also pets and stuff like that. So, rather than cover them all here, I'm just going to throw you a Wowhead link because I think that just fits that type of content better. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of new content there if that's the sort of thing that you're into. So there you have it, all of the tips, tricks, and useful undocumented changes that I think will help you out in this patch. Really, imagine a future where you don't know about stuff like the Core Cool Flute and the Heart of Argos thing. Yeah, you're going to save a lot of time with these things. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.